Hey there folks, here we are at Goodwill on this rainy day. Never know what you're going to find, so this will probably be my last video of the trip for the holidays, so let's see what we got. Alright, so here you got your, just your kind of electronics section. This isn't really a well-organized one, as you're going to see. You got a Wii balance board there. You had a lot of component cables in those like blister packs, but you know, got some detergent. One of these days I know I'm going to find a Philips CDI or something in one of these things, but not today. But here you got your main event here. It's your media section, all your DVDs. We start out with some Wii games up there. Nothing super interesting. Lego Batman's fine, I guess. All these games are $5, so you know, it's got to be pretty decent for me to actually pick it up. But you had a couple other things there, and not a whole lot on the middle shelves here. And then I went and looked down at the bottom, and I noticed that they had some PS2 stuff and an Xbox game and stuff like that. And then I saw this. What we have here is a copy of Silent Hill 2. And even though this was a really popular game when it came out, or at least it seems like it was, it sold a lot of copies, it actually sells for a decent amount now, which I'll talk about later on. But, you know, I checked the disc, and the disc is pristine. Looks very good. There's a little teeny tiny scratch that doesn't even show up on the camera. And the instruction booklet is great too. So, yeah, pick that one up. Next we have the CD section. Now, you always want to look through the CD section. Obviously, I'm pushing the cassettes aside there. Just looking for stuff. Eventually, you kind of train your eye to pick out like PS1 games like this one. Which this one is just MLB 2000. You know, it's a sports game. Not interested in sports games, but it's worth mentioning. And then down here, you got a Rayman Raving Rabbids game. This one was interesting to me because of that Blockbuster tag down there. Always interesting to see a Blockbuster game. And then down here, you got a section that was mostly Xbox stuff. I went ahead and just pulled out Blazing Angels just because you don't see that one very often. And it's kind of an interesting game. But this was actually a really interesting find. On the top of the bookshelf, I found Axis and Allies. Now, these PC games you want to watch out for because occasionally you'll find one that's actually pretty valuable. And this one was only selling for $4, and I went ahead and looked it up on eBay, so I'll show the listing right here. And on eBay, they're selling for about $15, which is pretty good for a game like this, just in its jewel case with nothing else with it. You know, it's not bad, but it's not quite enough meat on the bones for me to really take a risk on this thing. You know, because eBay, you end up paying 10% of the selling price to eBay between PayPal and all that other stuff. And then, you know, if you do it as an auction, you know, you could even get less than $15. You know, it could end up being $10 by the time you sell it, and then by the time you ship it for $4, $5, you know, you've ended up breaking even. It's not quite enough for me to take the risk. It's still interesting to see, and worth pointing out that, you know, sometimes PC games are worth more than you thought that they were, even if they were really common back in the day. And before I left, I took one more pass through the DVD section. I found this Mario Party 8, and this one was really interesting to me. And you'll see why when I open it up and you see what's inside. But you know, it's not Mario Party 8. It is Super Mario Sluggers, which unfortunately is a much less valuable game, to the tune of about $10 less. And unfortunately, you know, if the game and the case don't really match, it's hard to sell. Alright, so there was some interesting stuff in there. I didn't find anything else, but I did go ahead and pick up that copy of Silent Hill 2. Hold on a minute, back's giving me trouble. Right here. You always want to be aware of what PS2 games they have. If you, I guess about a year ago, you may have seen it. I picked up Jade Cocoon 2 at a Goodwill for like $3. This one is $5. It's Goodwill is interesting. They leave it up to the store on what they want to price their stuff at, which is totally fine. And a lot of the like really good ones they usually send to a place called The Grid in North Carolina. It's like basically a retro store for only stuff from Goodwill. So most of the Mega Man and the Mario and anything that's actually like immediately recognizable to the Goodwill employees, they just put it in a basket and send it straight to the Grid. But every now and again they miss something from the PS2, like this one. And again, this is Silent Hill 2. I really have no interest in the Silent Hill series. I played the first one through one night when I was in high school, and it scared the crap out of me. And never really wanted to go back. But this game sells for anywhere between $30 and $45 on eBay, and I got it for $5.
So this will be a pretty quick thing to turn around. Now, usually when I do this, just because I don't like being the one driving the market value up, I usually try to list it for, you know, $5 or so below market value, and it sells quick and it gives somebody a good deal. So that's usually how I handle this, and I still am able to flip it and make a little bit of money for myself to go buy something that I want. But that's why it's usually good to check those PS2 sections and the Xbox section and the stuff. You know, that generation, the PS2, the Xbox, is starting to get a little bit more valuable now, especially with Xbox, with all the backwards compatibility that they're doing. So you can actually find some interesting stuff there. So like I said, I found Jake Coon 2 that one time. We have Silent Hill 2 here. And we'll be able to make a little bit of money off of it, and hopefully give somebody a good deal while we're at it. So, anyways, successful shopping trip. You know, you find those weird things like that Mario Party 8 that have Mario Sluggers in it. And that's kind of disappointing sometimes, but also kind of cool just to see what you find, because you literally never know with Goodwill. So that's about it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff, and I will see you on the next one.